Hi guys, welcome back. All right, so Cancerian, let's go ahead and jump on in. Let's see what's our big message for Cancer today, shall we? Ooh, okay, that was exciting. We've got Seven of Swords sideways. We've got the Nine of Discs, so Nine of Pentacles, but in the reverse. Um, Someone's struggling with the truth. This could be that they don't really want to be alone and they're not fully admitting that. They're like, oh no, that's not really how I feel about something. Maybe it is. This could also be someone who's denying that they're undercutting themselves or selling themselves short. Like, no, I'm probably really not that successful, blah, blah, blah. And they know that that's not true, but they're not admitting it. Any way we slice it, this is somebody not fully admitting what they do know to be true. So it's some energy here of why is there a lack of truth in this? Man of Discs world card. The lack of truth is here because I'm wondering if someone is comparing themselves to someone else's life. Never a good idea because we're all on a different journey. I mean, if we look at somebody and we go, wow, look at what they're doing. That's so awesome. I'm super inspired. I want to do something like that. And we use it as like, not a comparative thing to say, wow, look at how much I haven't done. Look at how much further ahead they are in their life than I am in mine. We can compare things in a non-negative way, and instead it can be an inspiration. But I feel like somebody is assuming that another character has everything. They've got money, they've got looks, they've got the world at their fingertips, they can do anything. You never know just what somebody's life really is. I don't know if this is the Cancerian feeling this way or if this is somebody feeling that way about Cancer, but it just looks like we've got someone who is selling themselves short because they assume somebody else's life is so much better than theirs. Magician, Queen of Pentacles, Woman of Discs in the reverse. So we basically, okay, this is starting to take shape. We basically are seeing a king and a queen of pentacles, but somebody assumes that the other person is happy without them and that they themselves are not in a good place, that they don't have enough to offer, they don't have enough to give. But what they're really doing is by continuously telling themselves that they're manifesting not having success, focusing on especially a false narrative of how I'm not good enough, I don't have enough, I'm not pretty enough, I'm not handsome enough, I'm not rich enough, I'm not blah, 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 blah. They're actually making that. They're going to start to, like shrink down and not meet people's eyes and feel bad about themselves because they're convincing themselves. Cancer, is this somebody who has broken up with Cancer and they think Cancer is doing so good without me and I'm not good enough to be with them, and they're kind of like really pushing themselves down? Or is this our Cancer doing this to themselves, saying, yeah, but you know what, that person that I used to be with, they've moved on, their life is fabulous, I'm sure there was somebody better than me, more attractive than me. Look, even if this character did go on and they are with somebody else and their job does look fabulous, still, we're not walking in their shoes. They're not walking in our shoes to continuously insist that someone else's life is somehow better than our own, or that they're doing better without us and they don't want to be with us. That's completely, how would I say this? The only person's life that we're truly responsible for is our own. I mean, that's not true if there's children, if there's pets, if there's, we're responsible for protecting each other and, especially protecting the weak in this world, the little creatures and little things that can't tend to themselves, right? But I'm saying in the more grand sense, the only person who we're responsible for to like make our life progressive and successful, it should be ourselves. Whether or not somebody is successful or happy with or without us really isn't any of our business. If our character spent more time asking themselves, now wait, what is it that I want? What do I want to experience? What kind of joy do I want? And if they put more of their emphasis and more of their energy in just focusing on their happiness instead of saying that other person's so happy, so much happier than what I am, they're without me, so it must mean that they didn't want me. It's like they're only focusing on someone else's good life. which makes them feel like crap about their own, instead of them saying, wait a second, I don't care what their life is. I don't care if they have $10 million. That's their money, not mine. All I care about is getting mine. I just want to focus on my stuff. That's the way I would look at this right now, unless something changes. Now, again, I don't know if this is we've got the Magician again and the Four of Cups. We've got Virgo, Gemini coming out twice, because we've had the Magician twice so far. I don't know if this is Cancer who's feeling bummed out, or if it's them, but they keep manifesting more bummed out energy, which is really unfortunate, because to use powers of manifestation, to be thinking about the things that we want in life, and then taking actionable steps to notice where those opportunities are and taking advantage of them, and propelling us forward in life. They're not looking for the good opportunities. They're only looking for another reinforcing idea of, see, and there's another regret. See, and there's another thing I don't get. See, there's another reason my life isn't going to go down a happy road. What a really important message on this is, if you look closely in the background here, this is the School of Athens. It's my all-time favorite painting, actually, on planet Earth. This, if you're ever lucky enough to see it in real life, it is in Rome. But the School of Athens, painted by Raphael, is, you can't really tell that there's in such a small imagery, but it's a glorious painting where in this huge hall of learning, there are all of the ancient, well, they weren't ancient then, they were contemporary at that time, I suppose, but there were all of these different fabulous philosophers and mathematicians. We've got Socrates, we've got Plato, we've got, and in the middle, actually, we see Plato and Socrates arguing about, is mankind here to have are we spiritual beings having an earthly experience, or are we earthly creatures who are here to kind of elevate and find a spiritual purpose? And it's kind of that, which is true. And I always look at this card and I always think it's indicating that we're both. We are spiritual creatures who are blessed enough to have an earthly experience, but in our earthly time frame, we're also hopefully connecting and listening to our spiritual self, or developing a relationship with the spiritual self. I would argue that the Magician says we're a bit of both. But ultimately, the fact that we have all these philosophers on this card, it really is encouraging whatever character, whether it's Cancerian or whether it's the other person who keeps insisting on manifesting disappointment, negativity, looking for ways that they can reinforce negative ideas about how, see, that's why somebody doesn't want to be with me. See, their life is better without me. See, they don't even want to talk to me. They moved on and they're great without me. This is really encouraging a character to take a more philosophical look at things, and really ask about their own existence. What am I here for? Am I here to focus on somebody else's journey? No, because if I was, I would have been them. Instead, I'm me. So that must mean that my journey is the one that's most important. So my spiritual and my physical journey, why don't I spend a little bit more time focusing on those things? Maybe sometimes I get a spiritual lesson. Maybe sometimes I get a physical lesson. But the bottom line is, everything is here as just part of my journey. It's part of something to help me grow, help me to experience, help me to create better questions for myself, help me to ask more about my journey, not about someone else's per se. I think that's the best way to look at this. Basically, a person who keeps finding ways to look at the negative, this storyline is urging them to change that perception and look at it from a higher, more philosophical standpoint. And most importantly, recognize that it's their journey they should be more concerned with. Their journey is the blessing that they have. Oh, this is nice. We got a Six of Swords sideways. I think our character is just they're very close to coming to this conclusion. They're almost done feeling that sorrow, or that jealousy, or that pain, or that, it's so, I don't know if any human doesn't look at somebody else's life at some point and go, God, man, I don't have any of those things. I feel like crap about myself right now. I'm looking at somebody else and they're so perfect and their hair is great and their skin is ideal and their body is perfect weight and their life seems fabulous and God, I don't have any of that. I think every human can see something and insist by comparison that their life is crap. And this is saying our character's just about to shake that off. It's just a moment. It's just a period of time. I almost think it's like a rite of passage to experience that and then say, wait a minute, that's someone else's journey is not mine. Who says my life is crap? Who says that I'm not handsome, beautiful, attractive? I have something different to me. I have a different look. I have a different ability. I have different things that are part of my journey. We don't have an identical journey, which also means we don't have identical struggles. And we never know somebody's struggles unless we're in their shoes. I always call this card the creator, just because this is an unnamed card and is the creator of the deck. So this is like the connection to the divine. I think this is a character who's finding a connection to their creator, to their spiritual belief system through a really devastating time in their life, through a moment where they were just feeling really left out, really overlooked, really bad about themselves. And yet, interestingly, hitting that rock bottom is the place where they actually find the faith. They find that philosophical perception. They find fortitude. This is strength and Ace of Swords. They also cut through that concept that somehow their life isn't as good as somebody else's, that they are left behind. Everybody else gets to live in the land of milk and honey and their life is perfect and my life is going to be crap. I think that they break through that thought process and they realize, no, I need to love myself, love my life, love my journey. And I think they start to focus more on their own life and they realize just what a strong person they are, just what a beautiful person they are, what a truthful person they are. Sometimes also the people who look like they've got such great lives, full of crap. I'm sorry. Anybody can make stuff look good. Take me, for example. I'm 43. I have billions of wrinkles. I have all kinds of imperfections. But right now, the lighting kind of makes it look like I don't have a whole lot of, well, you can still see all my wrinkles, at least here, but it's still minimized. Trust me. I look pretty haggard in real lighting. But in this lighting, it hides some of it, intentional or unintentional. Look, I'm grateful for it. But the bottom line is nothing is in broad, cruel light of day. Nothing is quite as smooth or soft as it appears in, fake lighting with a backdrop behind you. You know what I mean? It's really easy to put forth this vision that things are shiny and happy and it's all good, or things are smooth, when it's not. It's not. It's just perspective. And I think that our character is coming to that conclusion. I think that they're really starting to love themselves, their own life, their own journey, and they're seeing their own strength too. I love that for this character. I love the fact that they didn't continue to feel bad about their journey because they were comparing their happiness quota to someone else's, especially if it's somebody who moved on. See, the moon is here, 7 of coins, Knight of Cups. I gotta say, they assume some ex or somebody has moved on and is having their best life. This is what they don't know. What they don't know is that, in fact, either this person has been single for a very long time. They're not out there in some fancy relationship having the time of their life. They might be scouring the world looking for love and can't seem to find it. They could also be turning their back on love because they're going through their own process of trying to grow and trying to find meaning in their life and trying to get themselves centered again. And the other thing I'll say is, without realizing it, they could be on their way back to Cancer at some point down the road. It just really boils down to our lead character needs to only care about their situation and realize that their life is a gift and a blessing, and the way they're living their life already is amazing, and that they're strong and they're a person of value and they're somebody that's intelligent and beautiful and they have their own gifts and their own journey, and not think too much about, well, that other person doesn't even seem to care, so they must have a better life than me, because we don't ever know somebody else's journey. And we certainly don't know there's a lot that we don't know about what's going on in that other character's world. The moon says so much is hidden, so much of their emotions they haven't shared. They could be a Pisces, doesn't have to be, but we have change and growth happening for this person. But I feel like it's a time of personal change and growth. This person looks like they're single. It looks like they can't even, maybe they're not ready to find love, or they aren't ready to come back into Cancer's world, or they haven't found anybody to love yet because they're still a work in progress themselves. It's funny how somebody could have such a different perspective. Oh, I'm sure they're great. They're good. They're great without me. They're so happy without me. My ex doesn't think of me. My ex is probably with somebody, 10 years younger and 30 pounds lighter and blah, blah. And, somebody with better hair and better biceps, or, you know what I mean? It's like, that's the kind of vibe that a character was insisting on telling themselves, these stories about how great someone else's life is. And this says, nuh-uh, no, it isn't. But also, it's a reminder that this lead character's life ain't so bad either. I like this one. It alleviated a lot of that, the loneliness or the bitterness or the assumptions that we're missing out on some better quality of life. Actually, this character's having a really great life. All right, you guys, thank you so much for being here. Oh no, Vatsala, was there no audio? I'm sorry, I didn't even look over. I hope you guys have been able to hear me. Vatsala, you're the only one who said that you couldn't hear, but admittedly, hi, sweetheart, how are you? Cheers to you in London. And James, thanks you for being here. A mysterious me for real, thank you so much. Mysterious me feel. Thank you guys so much for the feedback. I appreciate it. Thank you, honey. All right, you guys. Lots of love. I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.